Hello, and thank you for listening in today to Awaken Health Pod. I'm Jennifer Grogan, Integrative Health Coach with Greenleaf Wellness in Central Illinois. With me is my co-host, Shanna Scordel, Integrative Health Coach with Inspire Wellness for You in Arizona. Shanna, what's new and good for you today?
Well, what's new is I've been up since 3:30, which is rare. My daughter woke up early and came and snuggled, and then I took her to the bathroom and put her to bed, and then my husband woke up, and I just stayed up. So that's new, and it's good. It's okay. I'm hanging in there.
So if we hear silence, I'll be like, Shanna, wake up.
Exactly. Another thing that's good is we are on episode 13. It is March 7th, 2018. And two things. The first one is I want to give a shout out actually. My husband's grandparents, today is their 70th wedding anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
So Nona and Nono, Salvatore and Ercilia Licari, and they are in, I think, Arcadia, California, in the Los Angeles area. So, yes, and then I'm excited because our topic today is detoxification, and I had so much fun preparing for this podcast. I'm really excited.
Good. Do you want to start out then?
Well, I don't know. I think we might need to play a game. I think the listeners might need to let us know how many times we say the word detox or detoxification in today's podcast, because I have a feeling it's going to come up quite a bit.
Which is a good thing. We need that. I'm going to start it out. Detox.
With that said, I'll let you go ahead and start if that's okay.
Yeah, so in my research, looking at there's the lymphatic system and digestive system. A lot of people don't put two and two together. A lot of it affects the liver and how the cells are part of that as well, and how the body can store everything outside the cells. And then it's the ability for the body to detox out the bad substances that are in the body. So, you got your digestion, your absorption, your elimination. The digestive system includes those three things. So digestion and absorption occur in the digestive tract. Then the nutrients are absorbed. They're available to the cells in the body and utilized by the body cells in metabolism. And then the digestive system prepares nutrients for utilization for body cells through 6 activities or functions, which is the ingestion, I'm so sorry. It feels like a Monday. Wow. Mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, your movements, which I'm big on that, absorption and elimination. So then the lymphatic system, you got there's 3 things. The first one is that it has 3 primary functions. Returns excess interstitial fluid to the blood. So that's important to know. The second function is lymphatic system absorption of fats and fat solubles and vitamins from the digestive system, and the transport of the substance to the venous circulation. And then you have, the lymph nodes. A lot of people do detox, there's the word, for their lymph nodes as well. So
yeah, the lymph system is very crucial, and I love this. Just so many people don't realize how you said, putting together the cells and the blood and the organs, and this is all very important. And the lymphatic system helps with circulation, and it helps remove infections internally as well. And so sometimes certain medications or genetically modified foods can disrupt a lot of what goes on inside, and environmental toxins. And so what happens is we end up with these toxin buildups. And I was going to save this for later, but just a little bit. For the ginger, turmeric, lemon, lime, and grapefruit are really good for cleaning out the lymphatic system. Vitamins A, vitamin B6, C, zinc, and selenium are a few of the vitamins as well that will help with that. And there is a bit of a difference between cleansing, and detoxification, but Grapefruit is good. However, just be cautious. If you're on medications or prescription, just ask your doctor if you can have these certain foods or vitamins. Sometimes there's interaction between foods or vitamins with medication. So always ask your doctor or check that out. So I just wanted to share that since you were talking about the lymphatic system.
Yeah. A lot of people may not realize, too, that 80% of all disease can be attributed to digestive imbalance. It's really important to keep the gut clean, make sure you're eating properly, getting your movement, your breathing. That poor lymphatic circulation and stress can also directly impact digestive strength. So you want to make sure that that's going good for you for optimal digestive health.
Exactly. And cellular function. I mean, the environment and the foods, stress, hormonal imbalances, there's so many contributing factors to why sometimes it is very important to have a detox. And one of the things that was new for me is I didn't realize that your hormones can get stored in your fat. I was totally shocked about this, and it makes a lot of sense now. But obviously, if there's digestive issues, gut issues, depression, mood swings, sleep problems, intolerances to caffeine, so many different things, unstable insulin, energy, bloating, dizziness, a lot of this can be a sign in some instances that a detox would be very helpful. When detoxifications happen, a lot of times this helps balance cholesterol, helps with psoriasis and skin issues, balances blood sugar, and improves sleep, improves digestion, mood, energy, and so on and so forth. Also, dizziness. I know I mentioned that. So if you are feeling dizzy, talk to your doctor and, maybe get some articles online as well from a very reliable source. And sometimes magnesium is very helpful during dizziness. But again, if you're feeling this poorly and this sluggish, then something isn't right. This isn't how you're supposed to feel on a daily basis. And paying attention to balancing hormones or cleaning out your system, trying to rid built up toxins is very, very important to the longevity and your overall well-being.
Right. I know you had mentioned the caffeine. That affects the liver.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important, if you love the caffeine, to try and just be mindful of how much you're consuming and kind of cut back, and then notice how your body feels. Because I know in the caffeine talk that we did several weeks ago,
mm-hmm.
I brought up the whole Mountain Dew thing and how it, made me constipated. And so if you're getting too much of the chocolate and just the wrong things, too much coffee, affects the liver. But then again, people rely on coffee in the mornings for a bowel movement. And so that's not doing any favors to your digestive tract either, because now you've got that crutch that you rely on and you're not allowing the body to do it naturally.
Yeah, and it's very acidic. We definitely encourage all of our listeners to go back to those podcasts because, again, we did talk about circulation. We did talk about caffeine and vitamins and so on and so forth. And the liver, it shouldn't be neglected. It plays a huge role. Over 200 functions the liver has. And, your cholesterol being out of whack, wreaking havoc on your body could be a sign of your liver being, intoxicated and needing a detox. So everything works together.
True.
The liver purifies the blood, helps regulate your metabolism. It stores minerals. It's responsible for cholesterol production. And even for men, steroid hormones, testosterone. There's so many. A lot of people don't realize how insulin and testosterone and cholesterol, how all of these hormones are related, and the productions in the body are all related. So it's important. I just want to say real quick, I know I mentioned this book before by Dr. Amen, Change the Brain, Change Your Brain, Change Your Body. Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because what he says in there is most people change what they see. So if they have wrinkles or if their hair is gray or they're feeling kind of like they need to tone up, those are things that people see, they pay attention to them, they change them. So what Dr. Amen was saying is you don't see your brain and you don't take care of it. Well, this is the same thing with the organs in our body. We don't see them. And so a lot of times taking care of them isn't a focus. And the good news is there is so many foods and vitamins which we'll go into that do help aid with the organs and cleansing and detoxification process. But I just want everybody to be aware, take care of the inside of your body too, not just the outside of your body.
True. I always tell my clients, if they're stressed or feeling angry about stuff, I'm like, you got to be kind to your liver, because when you're holding your anger in or your thoughts and feelings that are frustrating you, it affects the liver. So if you can show your liver some love and work through that stress and the frustrations that you have, you will feel better.
Absolutely.
And two, by releasing how you really feel will also help you detox better for the gut.
Absolutely.
So if you're holding everything in, more than likely you're going to get constipated, and then you're going to get the bloat.
Mm-hmm.
So
and more toxins.
So if you can just learn to release your emotions and frustrations and everything, you'll feel better. Literally. You'll just let it go. So
there's just so much out there that contributes to the need for detoxification. I mean, like I said, certain medications, household cleaners, toxins, parabens that are coming from our personal care items, tap water and fluorides, air pollution, genetically modified foods, and then all of these are wreaking havoc on our hormones, our obesity rates. So increasing obesity, increasing hormones being stored in fat. And then what needs to be taken into consideration is when we are detoxifying and losing weight too, these hormones have to get released. So it's just this whole roller coaster of things that are going on, turmoil with the body. And that's why as integrative health coaches, we really focus on finding what works for you. So you know what are your go-to good items, and you are very aware of what items make you feel not your best. Because we always want you to feel your best, and we want you to be aware of what correlates with your body. And so we teach you to focus on having a list of items or foods or self-care, whichever it may be, where you know that you're going to feel your most optimal self. Your health is going to be the most optimal if you follow this. And that's how we want you to feel on a daily basis. So that's why we like to bring awareness and help educate and share information with you.
So some people might be thinking, well, what are signs to look for? Well, there's fluid retention. If your skin breaks out and you have congestion, if you have sore, red, stinging eyes, you wake up middle of the night, you're hot, lumpy breasts with swelling with your monthly cycles for the females there, you're not hungry for breakfast, you're laying on that coffee, it just means, you need to give your body some more loving for that detox. So another thing that I found interesting, and I call it cottage cheese, is the cellulite. So if you do have the constipation, diarrhea, maybe even IBS, or increase in body fat, you're going to get the cellulite. And it will occur when the detox and the elimination mechanism process in the body, that they can't keep up. And so it accumulates. And then it turns into the ungodly craters,
Yeah.
It's like you go to the beach, it's like, I can't put my bikini on, it's the cottage cheese. But it was just interesting, and it affects the brain. It affects, everything in the body, because it's just getting backed up, and you want to get that out.
Yeah, and I think I've said this too, just the simple thing of releasing your bowels. A lot of people say, I only go a couple times a week. I'm good. I'm full. I'm not bloated. A lot of people actually don't know what being bloated is. So many people are so used to it. They don't really know what it's like to not be bloated. And it is very important to release bowels, because what happens is though they are releasing a lot of toxins as well. And so if it's building up in there and you got however many pounds of this, it's going to make you feel like crap, literally. Excuse my language, but for the topic today. It does. You're holding toxins in your body, which is going to make you feel like you're in a toxic state. So a lot of people who really need to go to the bathroom, they'll get cranky and kind of sluggish and low energy and depressed and irritable. And then once it goes and comes out and they're relieved of some of those toxins, they feel better. And so think about that too, just for children or elderly. Just so much actually happens and goes on with something simple like not going to the bathroom for a couple days because you were traveling. It just throws the whole body out of whack.
Yes, it does. And we talked about this before too, but a lot of people are not chewing their food properly.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure you're chewing that food because your digestion starts in the mouth and it works down the esophagus into the intestines and then out, So I always tell my kids, slow down and at least say your ABCs twice, or just say them really slow. They kind of look at me really weird, but one of them is focusing on it. The other, you give them food and it's devoured in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're hungry right away. And I'm like, because your body doesn't even know you ate.
Yeah.
You just scarfed it down. I'm like,
the natural digestive enzymes occur during chewing. That's why it's not even recommended to down water and drink with your meal, because you're just washing down those enzymes that are trying to break down the food.
My husband and I were talking about that yesterday at lunch because we were eating Indian food.
Oh my gosh, we had it for dinner last night.
It's amazing. But, the stomach acid, people may not realize, is around 1.9. If you're drinking water at the pH of 7, you are putting the fire out in your gut that's supposed to be digesting your food. So if you are drinking a lot of water while you're eating, you're going to have a slower process of digesting everything.
Yeah. So, and there's a little bit more that goes with that as well. The pH and acid level in the body is so profound that some people get carried away with the pH water at 10 or a 9.7 or whatever. Your body, I don't even know how to explain it. It is unbreakable internally when it comes to the pH. And so there's certain parts of your body that will always read one way, no matter what pH foods or alkalis you try giving it or how much coffee you have. However, too much acidic isn't good. And I mean, honestly, an 80% alkaline-based diet, 20% acidic would be ideal. So it makes a difference. It's something to think about. But then again, like we always blink, our heart always beats. And so there's certain functions in the body that they just do what they need to do.
They do. So I try to get my water without ice. I like it room temperature, or if we're out somewhere, I'll get hot water with honey. So some other things that you can do to help with the drinking and the digestion is like lemon juice and water and the apple cider vinegar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and adding a little bit of cayenne into that as well.
Yes.
It's so good. My husband's been making that in the mornings.
Has he?
Mm-hmm. I'm like, make me one too. Make me one too. And there's different types of detoxification. There's fasting, there's cleansing with foods and herbs. So they're just key factors to be mindful of. If you need any direction, feel free to ask your doctor or we could share information. There's 5 major organs in the body, and the kidneys are important. Water, parsley, cilantro, just to name a few, is helpful in detoxification for the kidneys. For the skin, blueberries, purple cabbage, and beets is helpful. And a lot of people don't realize that the skin is responsible for 10 to 15% of your total elimination. So I don't know. I know I've mentioned dry brushing on our self-care podcast, but dry brushing, use a bristled brush, and literally with no lotion, without moist skin, you stroke the skin multiple times in a direction, and you do that on the whole body, and that's called dry brushing. And this helps eliminate cells, it helps rejuvenate the underlayer of the skin, it helps detoxification. So this is something that's important to do for your organ, the skin, which is very important.
Yes, it is.
Your liver, cabbage, broccoli, garlic, dandelion. Your lungs, mustard, cayenne, and radish. The colon, chia seeds, lentils, and fermented foods like with bacteria, yogurt, fresh pickles, sauerkraut. And all of these are helpful in aiding detoxification with the organs.
Yes, that's why I tell my clients when we do the grocery store tour, spend more time in the produce. It's the rainbow color of health. Every color in that section is going to do something for your body.
Absolutely.
And it's really important to, and I always challenge them, each time you come to the grocery store, grab a new one and experiment with it.
Yeah.
See how you like it. See how it responds with your body. Are you noticing anything different? And some of them do it. Some of the guys I have kind of resistant to it. It's kind of like a foreign thing in there. But, the women are just loving it because they're the ones that usually do all the cooking, And so the husband might be like, oh, yeah, it was really good. Or I'm trying to get used to this new health taste, But they know that it's doing a favor for their body. So in support of everything, they love it. And that's one thing I would say. If you're not spending enough time in the produce, I encourage you to look at everything. If you're curious about something and it's foreign to you, you've never had it, get your phone out and research it while you're standing right there.
Absolutely.
And then just, grab certain things. I do that all the time. And I put that on my Facebook business page, like even health coaches try new things.
Absolutely. I'm always asking my clients, what new food can you try this week? Have you tried anything new lately? Have you cooked anything new lately?
Yep. So it's fun, and you might find that you actually like, if you've never had Brussels sprouts, you might actually like those, or you might actually like Napa cabbage or whatever it might be. I just got a new thing, and I even forget the name of it now, but I asked the guy in the produce, I'm like, what the heck is this? And he's like, oh, that's, and he gave me a free sample and said to go home and try it, and if you like it, come back and grab more. And I'm like,
oh, how
okay.
Nice.
So they will work with you, so... But yeah.
I mean, and it's easy. I mean, roasting Brussels sprouts, roasting cauliflower, roasting green beans. My kids literally say it tastes like French fries. I do nothing to them. I take the green beans out, I put them on what is it, a cookie pan, baking pan, and bake them, roast them. And they're delicious. And, once in a while, maybe a little drizzle of olive oil or avocado oil with a pinch of salt. But the flavor is so good, especially in the oven. And the coloring's beautiful, beautiful, vibrant vegetables. So yum.
Sounds good.
I know.
I was just thinking for those that might have fluid retention, a couple of things that you could probably start doing is drinking more water and cut back on processed food if you think you're getting too much. And you really want to watch the sodium levels on the items that you do buy. So that's important to consider. And also your sugar intake. Kind of lower that a little bit if you can.
And everything you just mentioned is vital to preparation of a detox. Drinking more water, eliminating the processed foods, lowering your sugar, alcohol, caffeine, all of that is important to having a healthy lifestyle, but also if you're preparing to detox. Did I interrupt you? Were you going to say more?
Oh. Nope, you're good. You're good.
And some other things during a detoxification or things that help is aerobic exercise like swimming, walking, bicycling, getting your body moving, like Jen always says. It's fat burning, your heart's pumping, your lungs are breathing. This is all very important, again, to optimal health.
Yes. You can do a lot of stretching. That will help too. Breathing. I know I sound like a broken record every podcast I think we do. I'm like, focus on your breathing. But there's so many things that does for your body.
Absolutely.
And the digestion, the elimination, the massaging the heart, getting the blood flowing through your whole entire body. It affects the brain. It affects everything. Glowing skin. You just got to take time to do it. And I think that's the key. If you can just do 5 minutes here and there throughout your day, and then the longer you do it, the more you get comfortable, the longer you can go. So the benefits in it are huge. You know, I had a client to tell me that he went to the cardiologist after doing some belly breathing and some other things that we had been going and doing, and his standing blood pressure dropped. So
amazing.
It does work. It does work. So just focus on that breathing. You can't go wrong with it. I love it.
Yeah.
In fact, I always sneak away somewhere in my house where no one can find me and just lay down somewhere and, just breathe.
Yeah.
We think that we're breathing every day because we are, but we're not doing it properly.
I know.
So
yeah.
That's the key.
I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I'll just be trying to finish, just a little bit of belly breathing before, I allow for the next interruption or whatever.
Well, it helps calm you. It's just, I don't know. I just really love it. And that's one thing I teach my clients is how to breathe.
Yeah, it's helpful for detoxification from your lungs as well.
Yep. So
some of the worst foods you can eat if you're trying to have a detoxification is meat, dairy, genetically modified foods. Again, like I said, processed foods, alcohol, caffeine, wheat. Wheat is not good on the intestines and retaining nutrients during detoxification. And meats and dairies are heavy products as well and slower to digest. So really, those really good fruits and vegetables and spices and citrus just are so, it's like giving your organs a bath when your body digests these healthy nutrients.
It's pretty cool.
A couple of more things is, obviously this isn't recommended for your kids or for teens. This is something that should be guided. Feel free to call us if you have any questions at all, or email us at thecoaches@awakenhealthpod.com email address. It's .com, right, Jen?
Yes.
Okay. But I know I kept talking about hormones and them being out of whack and this being a sign that you need to detox. Even your sex hormones are affected by insulin, and your sex hormones are made in the liver. And if your liver's out of whack, your insulin can be out of whack, and then your hormones are out of whack, and then your sex and your sleep and depression and all these things that we keep mentioning. And nobody should feel like this on a daily basis. If you're feeling awful, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Take action. You're important. You deserve it. It's just really important to get help and to make small changes and start to be mindful and aware of what's making you feel backed up and bloated, or what do you eat that's affecting your sleep. And as health coaches, we really help dig down and figure this out with you. And so it's just very important. Sulfur is very good for your organs and detoxification. Foods that are high in sulfur, again, are mostly going to be your veggies, but it's for optimal health, and this increases your energy. It helps with the detoxification and elimination process. Kale, cabbage, cauliflower, asparagus, mustard greens, Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, watermelon, nuts, avocados. There's more than just a few minerals or vitamins or foods or herbs that Jen and I mentioned on our podcast. So we just want you guys to become aware that you can feel better, and that your health is important, and that your body's function is important and vital as well.
Another area is, I don't know if we touched on this one, is your portion control. A lot of times people think they need to be eating, they eat too much, and then a couple hours later they want to eat more. you're not hungry. I
Yeah.
don't think.
No, those are
You know,
cravings. That's an out of balance gut.
so you really need to be cautious. No, I always tell my clients, um, if you are one that does too much in your portions, you need to try and cut back,
Mm-hmm.
because more than likely there's a disconnect. You know, it's like, is the brain and the stomach connection there? Because are you training yourself to eat, or are you really hungry? And when
Mm-hmm.
they become more mindful of that and they pay attention, it's usually because they're just out of bad habit, you know, and they like the food too much, and so they want to go back for more. And you know, we're just here to bring that awareness and be mindful. And when you learn how to do that, there's freedom in that. So,
Absolutely.
um, you know, it's just being mindful. And then eventually they start noticing, oh, wow, I'm losing weight. I cut back on my portions, I'm losing weight, and I feel great. I have more
Huh.
energy.
Yeah.
I have more bowel movements. I'm pooping 3 times a day. Is that normal? And I'm like, yes, you know, that means you're clearing out your gut. You're helping your digestive tract. So just keep doing what you're doing, because the body is freeing itself of the toxins that doesn't need in there. So you need to be mindful of how much are you eating and how often you're eating.
And 3 valuable tips to take home for that, particularly for portion control. 3 valuable tips. Here we go. Decrease your cravings, decrease your sugar. Number 2, be present when you're eating. Don't have distractions. It's too often people are on the phone or talking to 7 people at once, or on the go, or driving, and they're eating. Not being distracted when you're eating, you're going to feel more satisfied after you eat. And then the last valuable tip is, if you're hungry, or you think you are because your hormones and your gut is telling you are because of cravings and imbalances, don't go to food. Find an action step that, and this is very valuable information, do something else besides eating. Do something you enjoy doing. Take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Read a book. Spend some time with your kids or your husband. Get out of the house. Get out of the room that you're in. So, 3 tips. Decrease your cravings. Be satisfied when you're eating. Be in the moment. Limit distractions. And do something else than, eating immediately if you feel triggered to be hungry. That's probably more like 10 tips, isn't it?
Well, another thing too, you said don't turn to food. A lot of times, if you're dehydrated, it mimics hunger. So adding more water or green tea or something healthy, and then go from there and wait another 30 minutes to an hour. And if you still have the, oh my gosh, I'm dying, I'm hungry, then, you know, you really got to look at, is it insulin resistance? Is it going into prediabetes? Do you just train yourself to eat that way? Is it your thinking? Is, you know, what's catered around the thought process there of why you're feeling that way? So a lot of times, you know, just adding that extra water can help.
Absolutely.
So, because, you know, I've got a couple clients that have been being mindful about their portions, and sometimes they're going to get too much, but, you know, and I forgot where I was going with that.
It happens.
It's Monday. Yes, it feels like Monday. But it's just making that connection. And I apologize. Wow, that just left me.
All right, you're going for a brain detox after this.
Yeah, I think I am. You gave such great tips, and I was going to go off of those, and I just lost it. So yeah, your turn.
Well, before we close, like you were just saying, drinking your water, having your green tea, these are all helpful to detoxification as well. And like I mentioned, there's certain foods and vitamins and nutrients that you're getting already that might even be your favorite foods, and they are helpful to the detoxification steps for your organs. So if you have any questions, hey, how is green tea beneficial for me? Or how is Brussels sprouts beneficial for me? Feel free to email us at coaches@awakenhealthpod.com, or go to Awaken Health Pod's Facebook page and connect with us. We'd love to hear your feedback. We'd love to share information with you. This way, it's not so dreaded about taking care of your organs and taking care of the inside of your body, like we mentioned at the beginning of this podcast. You might even be doing it already, but again, if we're having all those processed foods and alcohol and caffeine and all that stuff, then you're not going to be detoxing. So we thank you for listening, and we definitely appreciate your support. And until next time, stay happy and healthy, and don't forget to check us out and listen to us on SoundCloud and share with your friends.